In 736 AD, the elder demon Cyttorak roamed the earth. The immortal Iron Fist and the great sorcerer Shun battled him and asked what did the demon want. He only expressed one desire, to be worshipped by the people of Earth. But mankind would not obey the demon, and eventually Cyttorak was banned from this world. Now in the Crimson Cosmos, the elder demon thought only of his return to Earth. The demon was drawn to us like moths to a fire. He lent his power to human sorcerers, for he craved destruction. But it was not enough. Finally, he found a way for mankind to feel the power of Cyttorak once more. While he could not truly return to this world, he would have an avatar on Earth. Through his servant, humanity would know the demon's destructive power once more, and worship him for it. But his avatars failed time and time again. The gem that contained his essence was lost, and the power of Cyttorak was wasted. But still, to this day, Cyttorak thinks of Earth. A group of explorers find a mysterious tower in the jungles of Southeast Asia. Inside, they stumble upon a gem, but before they can investigate, they are attacked by an unseen figure. The power of Cyttorak has returned. Across the world, candidates hear the demon's call. Those who are strong, filled with rage, desire power, and can be controlled by the demon hear it, as well as those who know what to listen for. At the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, Colossus wakes up with a scream. Domino has sneaked into the school and is in bed with him. He tells his companion that Cyttorak is back. The man sensed his return and sets about making a painting of its location. The next morning, the X-Men are training in their gym. The Scarlet Witch is visiting and is helping coach Pixie into learning how to better control her magic. They have her test out a sleep spell on the X-Man Rock Slide, but she puts too much power in her attack and blows the Rocky hero to pieces. He's okay, as Rock Slide is perfectly able to survive such encounters, so Nightcrawler wants the girl to try again. Colossus comes by and asks for Storm, who is at the place she spends all her time these days. In the school's greenhouse, Storm stands in silence, reflecting on her lost companion, Logan. Peter arrives and informs her that the gem of Cyttorak has returned to this world, and he knows where it is. Storm orders Colossus to give the location to Rachel, and refuses to let him come with to get the gem. He is outraged at this order, but Aurora refuses to back down. Peter is no longer trusted by the X-Men's leader, as she believes he has lost his way. After his corruption by the Elder Demon, the Phoenix, and his actions as part of Cable's X-Force, he was only allowed to return to the X-Men on the grounds that he never posed a threat to anyone ever again. Logan only let him back on the team so that he could be watched over, and with Wolverine gone, that burden falls to Storm, and she wants no part in it. Rather than expose him to a power that has corrupted the man once already, he will stay right here. Enraged, Colossus returns to his room and smashes a portrait of him and the X-Men from long ago. Domino decides that now is a good time for her to leave, while the X-Men set out to retrieve the gem. Aurora, Rachel Summers, Northstar, Firestar, Nightcrawler, Iceman, and Rockslide set out in the X-Jet to find the gem. On board the plane, Rockslide expresses excitement and hopes he gets to be the new Juggernaut, while Firestar says she is nervous. Though Iceman isn't worried, Angelica knows just how powerful this villain can be. Kane Marco, the original Juggernaut, wasn't so bad when you get right down to it. He could be reasoned with and had two major weaknesses to both magic and telepathy. What if somebody truly evil gets a hold of the gem? Back at the school, Colossus sits in front of Logan's old room when the mutant named Trance approaches him. Peter explains the situation and doesn't know what to do. It has been pointed out to him that his decision-making skills have been far from ideal lately. He wonders what Wolverine would do in this situation. Trance tells him that Logan would team up with a teenage girl and go kill the bad guys. In the jungle, the X-Men find the tower they are looking for. They see that all the men who discovered this place have been killed, and enter the building cautiously. Northstar uses his super speed and finds the being that killed those men, a massive and ferocious-looking demon. Back at school, Pixie is practicing her spells until Colossus enters her room. He requests that he be taken to the tower right now. In the temple, the X-Men do battle with the demon, who is acting as guardian for the gem. While trying to hold off the monster, they are suddenly attacked by a squad of men. They aren't the only ones who know that the gem has returned, and many others have come to seek its tremendous power. Storm orders Rockslide to deal with the demon on his own, much to his annoyance, and the rest of the X-Men split up to find the invaders. Back at the school, Pixie is furious at Peter for his request. The girl does not have a good history with the Rasputin family, to say the least. Magic stole part of her soul, and Colossus forced her to travel to hell in order to save his sister. She has no desire to help this man, whose family has given her nothing but pain. Frustrated, Colossus smashes her end table. But Pixie simply says this is why nobody likes him anymore. Calming down, Colossus apologizes. He wasn't always like this, but ever since he joined the X-Men, Peter has never been strong enough. He can never save his friends and family from pain or death. Storm calls him weak, but really, he's afraid. All he wants to do is protect the people he cares about, and right now, the X-Men need him. Pixie relents, but only so long as his sister doesn't come along with them. Firestar finds the mercenary Crossbones standing before her, while Nightcrawler and Northstar run into Mankiller, an agent of Hydra. Rachel and Iceman try to find their target, but she is having trouble locating him with her telepathy. The target's thoughts are painful and make her mind feel like it's on fire. Suddenly, this person attacks, and he is revealed to be Fahd Ali Reza, also known as Jinn, an elemental assassin. Storm finds Firestar being held hostage by Crossbones, but has no time to help, and orders the girl to deal with the mercenary herself. Angelica complies, and ignites her would-be attacker before knocking him back with a fiery punch. Meanwhile, Rockslide finally manages to overpower the demon. It says the mutant is strong, and offers him the power of Cyttorak. In response, he detonates himself in front of the monster's face. Rachel is still having trouble against Jinn, and Iceman is struggling to hold him back. During this time, a mysterious hooded figure seeks out the gem, with a band of mercenaries accompanying him. They are attacked by more demons until Storm arrives on the scene. She remarks how it is moments like these that make her truly miss Logan being around to kill a lot of things for her. But Wolverine is gone, so she'll have to do it herself. Iceman's fight with Jinn is interrupted when Northstar is flung into the battle by the Mankiller. But before any of them can do anything, a new arrival appears before them. With the mutant known as Vanisher in tow, Kane Marco has arrived, decked out in combat gear and ready for a fight. From his blood-red dimension, the Elder Demon looks on. His call was heard, and humanity is eager for his return. They fight and kill for the honor of serving him. They sense his power and love him for it. But one worshipper in particular stands out. He is special. The chaos this man would bring to Earth is beyond measure. The time has come. The human race will know his name once more, and Cyttorak is pleased. Vanisher recognizes the situation and knows the X-Men will bring him nothing but pain and grief. He flees, while King Marco knocks the man-killer clear out of the tower. Iceman manages to freeze Jin in his place, while Nightcrawler greets the former Juggernaut as an ally. But Kane attacks both Rachel and Kurt. He's not their friends, and this is no time for forgiveness. The X-Men killed Marco's brother, Professor Xavier, and he wants them to confess to their crimes. The group is baffled. Juggernaut tried to kill Xavier for years, and they didn't have anything to do with his death. But Kane won't hear of it. Charles was the only man who gave Marco a chance in life, and the X-Men stood by while he died. Northstar demands his friends be let go, and says it's no secret that Scott Summers is the one who killed Xavier. Kane relents and notes that Cyclops is his true enemy. When Rockslide arrives with an unconscious demon in tow, Marco vanishes. While this is happening, Storm has an encounter with the hooded figure. She is unable to injure him, and he knocks her back with ease. Firestar is having trouble against Crossbones until Colossus and Pixie arrive to help her. Carefully, Pixie manages to use her sleeping spell on the mercenary, while Colossus disappears. Kane arrives in the chamber containing the gem of Cyttorak. As he is about to touch it, Colossus stops him and knocks him over. Somehow, Kane is able to go toe-to-toe with Colossus, until the two men realize they are both here for the same reason. Neither of them want the power, but rather they don't want any more needless destruction. Both men fail to notice that the hooded man has also arrived. Storm is in close pursuit and tries to stop him, but it is too late. The living monolith has the gem of Cyttorak, and he answers the demon's call. The tower begins to collapse, and the X-Men are able to evacuate everyone before they can be crushed. Soon, the world would feel it. A new avatar has been chosen, more powerful than ever. His power has returned. This is what they wanted. He knew. Chaos, fear, destruction. Cyttorak would give it to them, and mankind would love him for it. The Juggernaut has returned, and he will shake this world to its core. And yet, in his crimson heart, Cyttorak was discontent. The Juggernaut towers above the X-Men. Pixie wonders what they should do, and after a moment of hesitation, Storm decides to sit down over there. The X-Men are at a loss, so they begin to sit down with her. Rockslide asks why nobody's trying to fight the Juggernaut, and King Marco says they're insane. While the X-Men reminisce about times the heroes have fought with other giant enemies and begin a campfire, the Juggernaut stands at a distance. He declares himself unstoppable. The stars themselves will quiver at his... Wait, where did all the X-Men go? Storm apologizes to Peter. She's been too hard on him. But Colossus says it is okay. He needed a push in the right direction. The other X-Men comment that they are worried that Colossus is too willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Each and every one of them would lay down their lives for one another, but Peter seems to leap at the opportunity. The X-Men then debate how they might stop this new Juggernaut. The living monolith absorbs cosmic energy. His superpower means that he can use the energy to grow in size, and with access to the Crimson Gem, he could very well grow to the size of a planet. Heck, it's happened before. Colossus has an idea and suggests he makes an offer to Cyttorak. Storm, Iceman, Nightcrawler, and Rockslide go out and distract the living monolith with an attack, while Colossus attempts to make contact with the Elder Demon. Pixie makes fun of Peter, pointing out that now he's just yelling at the sky, but suddenly she and Rachel are possessed by the demon, and they are all teleported along with Kay and Marco to the Crimson home of Cyttorak. The Elder Demon taunts his former avatars. His failures are no longer necessary. With his new champion, humanity will know the power of Cyttorak. So Colossus asks him a question. What then? How long until the living monolith fails him as well? How long until the chaos and destruction becomes boring? Humanity will never worship the Elder Demon. They would die first. And Cyttorak knows this. He's always known this. But he lacks the imagination to do anything else. So Colossus makes him an offer. Make him the Juggernaut once more. give him more power than any avatar ever before, and he will use it to kill Cyttorak. He will show Cyttorak what unstoppable means. The demon pauses, and then he accepts. On Earth, the living monolith cries out and is the Juggernaut no more. The new Juggernaut appears and quickly takes the former avatar out. The X-Men celebrate, as the plan must have worked, but Storm realizes something is wrong. Colossus returns with Pixie and Rachel, while the Juggernaut says that Cyttorak did accept his offer, but with a different player. Cain Marko stands before them, the Juggernaut once more. Colossus is confused. Juggernaut said the deal went through, so he should be off killing Cyttorak, not back here on Earth. The whole point of Marko coming here to begin with was to stop the endless destruction. But Cain reveals that he made a bargain and has a new goal. Before he kills Cyttorak, he's going to take revenge on the men who murdered his brother. The X-Men can't let him do that, so a battle begins. With quick thinking, the X-Men work together to hold him in place and knock their old enemy's helmet off. But something is wrong. Cain looks completely different, as Cyttorak's power has affected his entire body. Rachel is unable to affect him with her telepathy, and Marko says that every weakness he ever had is gone. Nobody can stop the Juggernaut. As far as he's concerned, every one of the X-Men let Xavier die. Every one of them is going to have to be killed. After shattering the Earth, only Colossus still stands before him, and a showdown begins. My name is Peter Nikolaevich Rasputin. I am one of the strongest beings on this planet. I am Colossus. Many times I have faced Cain Marko in battle. Many times I have lost. But not today! On reflection, I could be wrong. Maybe I will get beaten to the pulp by the Juggernaut again today. I think I broke both my hands. This may have been a mistake. Colossus is brutally knocked far away. His instincts are to fight until he dies. But maybe that's not the best way. He thinks about what Logan would do, and, amusingly, reflects that his old friend would cheat. With a quick move, Colossus avoids one of Cain's attacks, which slams into the ground below, at the edge of a cliff. Colossus then shatters the now fragile Earth, and the Juggernaut falls. Peter did it! He saved his friends. If it means today he must die, then so be it. As he accepts his fate and careens off the cliff as well, a thought occurs to the X-Man. What the hell is he doing? At last minute, he grabs the edge of the cliff and pulls himself up. The X-Men stand over him and Storm asks if he's feeling better. Peter says he is doing well. They didn't stop Cain. He's down there somewhere, and they should probably warn Cyclops about him. But for now, they're going home. Once upon a time, there was a man who got everything he wanted. In the end, it wasn't enough. In truth, it could never be enough. No amount of power could change who he was. It could never quench his thirst for more. He was now and forever the Juggernaut, and he would never stop. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is the complete story of the Once and Future Juggernaut. So I have been feeling bad about our coverage of the X-Men lately. Specifically, over the last month or so, it just hasn't existed. This has a lot to do with the current state of X-Men comics, as it's hard to find a good series that either Joey and I can really get into. But we are both huge fans of the X-Men, and I wanted to do something. So when I saw this story was wrapping up this week, I thought it would be fun to go through this entire arc. This story was depicted on the pages of Amazing X-Men from issues 15 to 19. I've read this series before here and there, but never really got into it. So it was largely the title of this story arc that piqued my interest, and I'm so glad that it did. It was pretty awesome. I've always liked the Juggernaut as a character, and this arc was an excellent plot that involved this character's entire history. There's a lot to like here. The books were funny, but also dealt with some serious things. Everything here ties together really nicely, and you don't need to know much other than a bit about the big guy himself. This feels like a return for two major characters, with both Cain Marko and Colossus coming to terms with their recent history and what each of them now stand for. Ultimately, this is a return to form for both of them. But that isn't to say it's a return to status quo either. Rather, both characters are developing into what feels like a logical way for the men to become who they once were. Colossus has been through a lot. Through his time as Juggernaut, then as the Phoenix, and then on the X-Force, he's fallen pretty far from the man he once was. It feels like he's starting to make amends for his actions, and is becoming a lot closer to his original character and a true superhero. Cain, meanwhile, started out the story as a man trying to live in peace. Even the call of Cyttorak doesn't change this, and at first he seeks to destroy the gem to stop anyone from becoming what he once was. Ultimately, he succumbs to the need for revenge and the temptation of power, becoming the Juggernaut once more. Like Colossus, this is closer to what Cain Marko once was, but now he's hell-bent on revenge and actually unstoppable. I'm pretty happy with both developments, really. I like that we're getting our old Colossus back, and I like that we're getting a new but very similar Juggernaut. Meanwhile, the art in this comic was on the whole well done, and the action was quite nicely put together. My only complaint is that at certain times the X-Men seem really mean to each other. Like, not just making superhero quips, like they're actually leaving one another for dead in this story. But I think it's just a function of the storytelling and reflects the trust in one another. I'm still not sure how I feel about the new look of Juggernaut either. On the one hand, he does look kinda dumb in his new armor, and I like the classic look a little better. But I also really like the idea of a gem corrupting his body and turning him into a more demonic looking person. I find that a really cool and interesting idea. So let me know what you guys think of the Juggernaut's new appearance in the comments section below. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed and would recommend the Once and Future Juggernaut. It was a well written and fun series, and it's tempted me to pick up more amazing X-Men titles in the future. I enjoyed it and hope you will too. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.